try this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.
What's going on, okay, welcome back to my second episode of my F1 2016 career mode on the PlayStation 4 on my channel. So, as you found out from the start of the beginning of the previous episode, I established a rival for my team, which we're going over again for some reason, which is going to be Romain Grosjean. I obviously picked Haas as the team I'm going to be driving for, and we are going to now get into the qualifying and the race for this weekend in Australia. She's going to tell me yet again where the team expects me to start, even though she could literally show me right there. Qualify 15 for high and beat Romain Grosjean. We did obviously go through that at the end of the first episode. Anyway, like I said, for the second episode, what we're going to be trying to do is starting in a good position for the race and then doing the race. Only 5 laps, obviously, because I don't really want this video to be as long as it needs to be. But anyway, it's now time for the short qualifying in Albert Park in Australia.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly.
Absolutely. So, in terms of a setup, I don't tend to actually do. I will show you what obviously I can do here. I can obviously pick which tyre I'd like to go on. I'm going to go on the super soft for now. These are literally the only ones I have available for me to use right now. 2 super soft tyres. This one's recommended for Q2. Or I can use the soft compound tyre, but that will add a little bit more time at the end of my time at the end of the lap. So we don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be messing around with the setup in the car. I'm quite happy with how it is at the moment. Okay, let's drive out. Normally, obviously, what I do is just do a flying lap, but let's drive out first, get a feel for the car, and then after our little warm-up lap, get ready to actually put in a proper lap in Q1. If we can get a Q1, that'd be pretty nice, and get into Q2. Maybe if we can get out of the top 10, that'd be quite nice. The team want me to get above 15, so it's important, obviously, we do, and it's important, obviously, we meet the team's objectives. Got the RS here, take over Kvyat. Not that it makes any difference whatsoever, because we're not in a race, it won't put us above Kvyat. Just a warm-up lap, obviously, so we can afford to take it easy. Don't have to worry about blitzing literally every apex and, cutting the corner like that. We don't want to be doing that on our actual lap, because they will obviously invalidate it, and we will have to do it again, because they consider it obviously us gaining an advantage. As this is obviously a warm-up lap, I'm going to put it down into lean. Don't want to waste fuel. Just obviously on your qualifying lap, you don't have as much fuel in the car as you would if you're going to go into the race, so we need to bear that in mind. That's why I've just gone into lean. Could have gone straight into a flying lap. I wanted to obviously get a bit of a feel for the car, feel for the track. Been a few days since obviously I've uploaded this, so let's get new to Albert Park again. Like I said in the first episode of this series, not one of my favourite tracks to drive around, but is what it is. We have to obviously take part in it. I don't want to retire and load a team my first race already, because you can get sacked. Your team can say, right, we've had enough of you, off you go, and we'll bring back Gutierrez as an example of what I'm going on about. Anyway, that is pretty much the end of our warm-up lap, so now we're going to get into our proper lap, and we've obviously got to give this lap our best shot. We could obviously go out for a second lap or something like that, but if this lap is good enough, we might actually have to, and put us into a solid position in terms of getting into Q2. So, I'll be talking as much as I was on my warm-up lap, and I'll try to set a good lap here in Australia. So there is the first of the DRS sections of this lap we just went through. We get 2 per track. Some of the ones on the back straight, as you saw when I was beginning my lap, and 1 right there. So we did 31.2 in the first sector. I don't know if that's good or not. We'll have to see when other drivers start setting their laps. But I literally like the only car actually doing a lap right now, I do believe. Better just to go out now instead of when the track's really busy and we might get held up by a few other drivers and causing an incident with them, which is something we don't obviously want to do. That's right, we're in Melbourne for today's qualifying session, which is nice to see. I mean, you can imagine who's raining or something. We've got 55.5, I believe that's in our second sector. I don't know if that's slow or not. We obviously, like I just said, we'll have to see. We're like, this is the fastest lap of this qualifying session so far, 135.8, so we do have that as our benchmark to try and beat. We're in the manner. And then Arianza beating that right there. Obviously he was replaced by Ocon, but the game's not updated to put Ocon in his seats after they drop Arianza. Well, looks like our lap's going to come into end here. What type of lap can we put in for our first run on qualifying? I mean, we were 132.0. Not bad actually for our first lap actually. What we'll do, we'll return to the garage, speed through time just a little bit, and we will see obviously if we have to go out and do another run in Q1. But that might actually be good enough to get us into the next qualifying round, qualifying 2. Our timings, I mean, look at that. We're actually beating the Mercs, which is quite weird. We got the best section 3, not section 3, sector 3, best sector 1 in terms of everyone else, and we didn't actually get best sector 2. That was Hamilton, but you know, regardless of that, Grosjean and I are in first and 7, which is pretty good for the team. Let's accelerate time and see if we do have to go out, or if we can, you know, stay in the garage for the rest of the session. Saves our tyres, obviously, and all that good stuff. It looks like we're actually anybody's going to get close to beating our last time. Hamilton gets into about 1/1000th of a second, but it looks like we're actually going to be remaining in first position for the short qualifying round. I don't know if we're going to go into Q2. I believe we are. We've got a trophy right there, best seat in the house. And you know, I'm not on easy difficulty. Don't say, oh, you know, that's expected. I'm on medium, but you know, if we keep getting qualifying results like that, then you know, heck yeah, I wouldn't mind. You know, finishing first and bumping it up to hard or something. We got a couple of resource points right there as well. Let's have a look at the rivalry up there. We did both complete qualifying. I managed to outdo where Grosjean finished, and pretty much beat him in terms of every single possible way I could have beaten him. Obviously, we were only doing the one run. In terms of obviously how long the video is going to be, I don't want to make it, you know, Q1, Q2, Q3, and then the race. So I hope you can understand, obviously, why I did only want to do the one short qualifying one. I know I obviously mentioned Q2, but you know, ignore that. And we're only doing Q1 and only the one short qualifying, I suppose, or just the one session. So here are race goals for the Australian Grand Prix. Finish 11th in the race or higher, beat Grosjean, and in terms of the driver championship for the whole season, they want us to get the 15th position. Oh, we're definitely starting in the top 10 already, so we are doing exactly what the team wants, and we are leading the rivalry, so that's brilliant to see as well. So, it's time for us to get into the race here at Albert Park, and we are on pole, surprisingly. Depending on obviously how this race goes, I might have to consider bumping it up to hard. Anyway, it's time for the race, the 5-lap race at Albert Park in Melbourne. You're having an absolute laugh, really?
So going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian.
Heavy rain, absolutely brilliant.
Let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at...
No, let's not look at the grid. There's no point, you know, I don't think that's necessary. Well, this could go one way or another. We are in the absolute soaking wet as it can get, which is not what we wanted, but lights out and away we go then. Here in Australia, we are probably not going to be holding on for first place any longer because Hamilton's taken us over, or taken over us already, sorry. But into the first corner, can we manage to outdo him in terms of how we do? Into the first corner, we managed to take over him again. Ricardo took the third placing over Rosberg there. Absolutely treacherous conditions. I'm sliding literally all over because I cannot keep control of this car. I have already made an absolute mess of that. God, why couldn't it be just sunny like it was on the Saturday when we did qualifying? Let me try that again and just try to keep control of the car. Not try and slide around too much. Like what I'm doing right here. God, we're going to have to do it for 5 laps. This is going to be a very entertaining first race here of the season, you know, in Albert Park. And whether we can hold on to P1, that is definitely going to be debatable. I know Mercedes definitely got better grip than I do. And the eye are much better than I am, as you can probably imagine and probably tell from how I'm driving already. I need to slow down and just gain control of the car again. I'm going to be holding a massive train, as you know. I'm not going to be getting any sort of gap and any gap to boast about because I don't know, the car actually feels all over the place. Oh my god. did not envisage this happening in the race. Yesterday, beautiful weather. It shows just how diverse the weather can be in Australia, I suppose. Not that I've ever been to Australia to say that that's the case. At the moment, we are holding on despite that brief kerfuffle that we did have early on in the lap. Long as we just take our time, don't go sliding around, we'll be able to keep Hamilton behind us. But on the straight, you know, we're definitely going to have to put it up in the rich mix for this Haas Ferrari engine that we have, so we might be able to withstand the pressure that Renault and Mercedes, and respectively of the Merc and Red Bull have, because they will definitely be coming at us. But thankfully, one advantage of being in a heavy rain, they will not be able to have DRS to be literally pounding us and being all over us, as long as that obviously sounds. Let's put it up into rich mix just for the straight, and let's see if we have it in us to keep Hamilton behind us. We lead by 1 second as we enter the second lap of the 5-lap race we're going to be doing here in Albert Park. If we can hold on to P1 and win this race, it'll be a brilliant start to this career mode series I'm doing with Haas. And if we do win this race, I might actually consider putting it up to hard for the next race of the series and of the season, which is, I believe, in Bahrain, one of my favourite tracks, actually, in complete contrast to this track. Obviously, in Bahrain, you will not be seeing weather like this, as we are in the desert, and rain pretty much does not exist there. It's non-existent, basically. The team obviously wants to finish in 11th. We are managing to definitely exceed their expectations so far. Hamilton has started to close the gap, but we are managing to keep the car in one place for now. In terms of hitting the apexes, we are way off. I can definitely tell you that. I mean, it's just insane how the weather could change like that, you know, over the course of a day. It's crazy, you know. We are going quicker, so we're now 1.8 seconds ahead of Hamilton. So I don't know, is he dropping back? Is he being quite cautious? Are we literally just got our foot down, and maybe we need to start being cautious or something, because we are getting some kind of significant gap on him, which is nice to see. Top 3 as it was, as we almost end lap 2 here. Obviously, if you'd like to see me bump my up to like 25%, then I can do, but I think 5 laps is adequate enough, as we don't want to be making this video extra long. I mean, I think it's already going to be like, what, 10 minutes or something. Yeah, new fastest lap, 147.5. Obviously way off how we did in qualifying when it was in the dry conditions, which was 132 or something, so you can definitely see what that does to your time. Not doing too badly though. We went to lap 3. Top 3 obviously being me, Hamilton and Ricciardo, as it was on the first lap. I believe Ricciardo managed to get ahead of Rosberg and take P3 off him. Oh no, obviously this isn't really as exciting as it can be, but I think if we manage to win this race going up to hard, we'll definitely have to work harder than we are doing now to get into the top positions in this Haas car. It was a decision personally, Haas or Renault for me, and I decided to go for Haas. They are, you know, slower in terms of straight line speed than Renault are. The 3 slowest teams in terms of straight line speed is Manor, Sauber and Haas. So I said, hey, let's go with Haas, the new team in F1, and they have a pretty nice car as well. But obviously, you can say that's quite true in terms of how it looks in the wet. We go purple for there again. We could be on actually for another fastest lap of the race. We're leading Hamilton by about 3 seconds now, so I don't think he is someone we have to worry about at the moment, but should we make a mistake, obviously he will be all over us. So I'd say win isn't in the bag yet, but we're on our way to getting the win in the bag. I could also, alongside doing the career mode in my channel, perhaps play some online. I'm sure that you guys probably like to see that. Online is literally absolute chaos, like you saw in my Rocket League video the other day. Absolutely mental, and nobody really cares about the objective of scoring goals and trying to win the game. They just want to, you know, mess about and have a bit of fun. I suppose that's what multiplayer is, to be honest, actually, with you. Anyway, I was babbling on right there. We entered the penultimate lap of the race. I don't know if we set the fast lap actually on that lap again, beating our previous one that we did set. Top 3 is as it still is, as it was the previous lap. And yeah, we can ask for a full race update. Perhaps we can find out with Grosjean or something like that. But as he's in the points, it'd be nice if obviously our first race of the season, and definitely Haas' first race. Both drivers can finish in the points. We are 3.8 seconds ahead of Hamilton. Ricardo is about 400 tenths. Okay, so my recording just decided to end. Obviously on the PlayStation you have a limit of like 14 minutes and 59 seconds in terms of how long you're allowed to record for, so that's why we just have to stop it right there. But you know, we're not going to be recording for much longer. We're on lap 4 already. We'll see obviously the podium, if obviously we can stay in this position. We are now 5.1 seconds ahead of Hamilton. We go a bit slower than we did on the previous lap in that particular sector, but you know, I don't think the fastest lap is something we need to be concerned about anymore. We already have the fastest lap of the race, and that can actually bring us more resource points as well to try and upgrade this car even more. That's what we've basically been trying to do for this Haas car in this first series, trying to upgrade the car as much as we possibly can. Maybe make it quicker in a straight line than the Renault is. Regardless, but you know, actually they might try and obviously upgrade their car as well with resource points their drivers get. And maybe for the second series, way down the line, which is quite far away, yeah, we might even consider getting into a better team, perhaps a Force India or someone like that. Or, you know, depends if we have an absolutely outstanding season, we finish first in like every race we're doing right now, which is obviously quite unlikely to be the case if I'm going up to Haas, which I'm considering I'm going to do. Regardless of Grosjean, as you saw, my engineer did tell me, my gap to Grosjean is about 21 seconds, so don't know where he is, don't even know if he's in the top 10. I believe he did fall out of the top 10 whilst I was watching the live timings of all the drivers and where they were on the track and what position they were in. He did fall out of the top 10, I believe he was in 11th or something. Anyway, we are now on the last lap of the race. I think if Bahrain is going to be anything like this, in terms of me winning the race, I am going to probably stay on, not stay on hard, bump it up to hard or medium. We did lose a bit of our front wing there. I got a bit too close to the corner, but that won't affect us too much. All we need to do, obviously, concentrate on doing right now is bringing it home. Winning the race, we'll see the podium. You know, they'll say who they think the driver of the day was. It might say it was me or something like that. Although we haven't had an absolutely exceptional race, we started on pole, and that's how we're going to finish in first position as well. Got us slipping and sliding around. Yeah. I don't think I gapped 6.1 seconds anymore. Yeah, it's 4.5 seconds. So he is closing on us as we start to struggle. These tyres starting to go off. I'm slipping and sliding all over the place. I literally have no control over this car at all. Oh god. Just take your time and just ease it home. Come on, are you almost there? Hamilton's caught us up now after I've been completely just messing around in terms of how I'm controlling the car. We need to take it easy. He's now right on our tail, considering we had a 6-second gap. That has literally been eradicated, and he's now right behind us. It's going to be very tight in terms of the end of this race here. Oh, I know what's happened. I've run out of fuel. I've run out of fuel. Oh no, that's what's happened. I've got no fuel left. I was like, why are we going so slow? Why are we only going 58 miles an hour? I stuck it on Rich for the whole entire race, and now it's paying dividends, and I'm running out of fuel. And Hamilton will be able to get past me. Oh no, please don't. Please don't, please. Please, just stay behind me, please. I don't know how this is going to work. We have to hold him off. Oh, he's pushed me. No, no. I completely forgot to put it into Rich Mix. I just completely forgot. And now I am getting absolutely rinsed, because now I'm paying the penalty pretty much of putting it into Rich Mix. But alright, I'm forgetting that I had it on Rich Mix. Yeah, we're not going to be able to win this race. No. I am an absolute moron. I've taken Ricardo out of the race, and what seemed to be like a P1 finish has gone out completely out of the window, because I am an absolute moron for keeping on a Rich Mix, sorry, for the whole race. And what basically happened was I ran out of fuel, so what could have been a P1 finish is now a P5 finish. Oh, I'm an idiot. We're not going to be seeing me on the podium, so I finished 5th. Oh, disastrous. I don't even know if we're going to see the things driver of the day. We are 5th in the standings after we got overtaken by Vettel, Verstappen, Hamilton and Rosberg, who, unlike me, were being clever and checking how much fuel they had, and remember to not just stick on to Rich Mix for the whole entire race. And yeah, we only finished 5th, which sucks. Anyway, I believe we did win the rivalry in terms of how we did against Grosjean for this particular race. We could have obviously got that podium finish if I had remembered that I was in rich mix. I wanted to go in rich obviously for the straight to keep ahead of Hamilton, but that wasn't the case, and I've just ballsed up completely, which is annoying, really. Alright, here we go then. So distance over 7 laps, total points, you know, this is all the resource points we're getting. You can get a lot of them obviously if you have a really good weekend like we just have right there. But oh man, what an absolute bummer. What a moron I am, like, really. Oh well, let's try and pick up some research and development points. We have 376 in the bag. Is what we can. I think what we can do is nothing. Wow, we would have got so much more if I had actually remembered I was in rich mix and put it down to standard on lap 2 or something, but I didn't, and yeah, we finished 5th. Oh, that's annoying. We'll head into the next weekend and I will end it off right there. So yeah, that brings an end pretty much to a promising a race. Actually, we were actually winning, and now we are down in 5th place and in the driver standings. Considering we actually managed to finish, well, get pole position. Sorry, and yeah, that pretty much eradicated because I'm an absolute moron. Anyway, the next episode of this series, I will remember to not remain in Retrix for the whole race and run out of fuel, and yeah, actually try and finish in a good position. Anyway, before you start talking to me, I'll quit the video right here and call it quits. We're bar right into the next race of the series, and until then, take care of yourself, guys, and feel free to absolutely call me absolute moron in the comment section below, because I literally have been one. But until then, take care of yourself, guys, and yeah, that's very much it for me. Peace. Yeah.